from the Chinese perspective, they have had a long-term strategy with regard to North Korea, and that is a long-term strategy aimed at trying to reform the country. In the book that Joanne mentioned, I have a table in there that shows every visit taken by the former, let's say, Junior Kim's father, right, Kim Jong-il, every trip he has taken to China from 2000 until his death in 2011. And in that chart lists every place the Chinese took him. Right? And you can see from the list of places that the Chinese took him, Chinese had a strategy here. They took him to car factories. They took him to cell phone plants. They took him to IT companies. They took him to everything to try to get the North Koreans to think about following the Chinese model. Right? The Chinese feel that the North Koreans can make this sort of reform because they made that sort of reform in their own system. They point to Vietnam as another example that North Korea should follow. So the long-term strategy that China has always sought is to try to use these opportunities at the very highest levels and also at mid-level and even working level to try to promote reform, economic reform in North Korea as the answer to solving this nuclear problem. Well, as we can see from the results, it's been spectacularly unsuccessful. Right? We see countries like Burma, Myanmar, making major changes, Vietnam, but not North Korea. Right? Why is that the case? Two reasons. I think one, China had Deng Xiaoping, right, in 1979, charismatic figure who pushed reform in China. This 29-year-old is not Deng Xiaoping, right, in North Korea. So you don't have a charismatic, strong leader. Secondly, Deng Xiaoping said to get rich is glorious. Right? And in North Korea, still the most important thing, I think, is political control. China understood that to get rich is glorious means that there would be some dilution of political control, central political control. They were willing to take that risk. This North Korean system with the sudden death of a dictator followed by the succession of a 29-year-old, the most important commodity is political control. And so that's why reform is much harder in the North Korean case. So that's been the long-term strategy for China, which has failed.